yeah. Well, we got a lot of things to talk about today. So, with that being said, so we've got all the introductions out of the way. It was a bad day today. Like it was kind of a bad
Mhm.
day today. Not kind of, it was. And all the things I think it was all of us fans got so kind of emotional leading up to this game that we were so hungry to see it on the field. And for the weather to be the way that it was, I already knew right then that I kind of had a feeling that it was going to be a closer type of game, but it wasn't going to be what we all wanted to see, basically. And it's there was just a lot. There was a lot of miscues, and if I sound a little exasperated, it was a little emotionally taxing today. I think I think, and because we've been waiting to see Trey for so long, and I think that I had to. The reason why I waited to do the live podcast until a few hours after the game was because I knew that I was going to have to emotionally decompress and just breathe and understand that this is not the end of the world, guys. This is week one. And the reality is we just it's every team in the league, and I mean every team, loses a game that they shouldn't have lost. There's not one team in the league that you can say that hasn't lost a game that they should have lost, that they shouldn't have lost. So it's like we just need to breathe. We need to understand that it was bad conditions. We made some bad mistakes, some bad miscues. Like this is not what this team is going to look like on a regular basis. I don't believe, and but we all just need to hoosah and get all your frustrations out now, because I think that we're gonna be okay. And so, but Chris, how did you feel about the game? I mean, obviously, it was a tough loss. We went down to the Bears, 19-10. What did you see? What did you see in this game that you were just really? Did you think the main reason for the loss?
I really think it was a whole team loss, but like it's good you mentioned that because there's one obvious culprit, and I'm gonna go to the box score actually to show this. So the Niners actually controlled this game. They
Hmm.
they controlled it until they didn't, and I'll explain what I mean. So the Niners had 17 first downs, the Bears had 15. Okay. Now keep in mind, the Niners had about 130 more yards in total offense. They ran 11 more plays. They had both at the exact same number of drives, by the way. Yards per play, the Niners are getting almost 5 yards per play. Bears are getting about 3.5. Uh, the Bears barely just were under 100 yards rushing, but the Niners gave up 99 yards and 12 penalties. And five of those 15 first downs for the Bears were from penalties. So,
Hmm.
like, I understand a lot of people after the game were talking about Shanahan's play calling. We blew another double-digit point lead. People are talking about like Trey Lance, missing some throws. That's going to happen, and yeah, there needs to be some blame and accountability and just lack of execution. But at the end of the day, if you have 12 penalties and you're giving up 99 yards, the whole length of the field was given up from whistles, from flags.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
understand what you're going to do to try to overcome that. I don't understand what adjustments Kyle Shanahan's going to make. At the end of the day, if you're a professional athlete and you're a veteran linebacker like Dre Greenlaw, dude, what are you doing diving at Justin Fields, who's giving himself up near the boundary? What are you doing there? He's not going anywhere on that in that situation. Um, the face mask, that was the
Oh,
turning point of the game. It was 10
it
nothing.
really was.
Dre Greenlaw and like three other Niners are stopping David Montgomery. They're going to have to punt the ball from their own side of the field, and he just hooks the face mask for some reason.
For no reason at
The
all.
next play after that, to Sean Gibson, which a lot of people are really forgetting about because I know a lot of people were getting on Jaquaski Tart for the dropped interception, which was bad in the NFC title game. But it's like
Hmm.
nobody wants to remember that Deshaun Gibson had an interception right after that in his hands that he just dropped. And the play after that, the lucky touchdown to Dante Pettis when Justin Fields just scrambled to the left and then Dante Pettis was left wide open on the right side of the field. That is when all the momentum shifted. Then the weather continued to get worse and worse when the Niners needed to throw the ball most, which was not helpful for them. Uh, the Niners shot themselves in the foot. They beat themselves in here.
Over and over and
Justin
over again.
Fields I don't even think in the first half, I don't even think he completed a pass to a wide receiver or a tight end in the entire first half. And the fact that you lose this game and it's 19 unanswered points, it's lack of discipline. And I wrote about this. It was after the preseason game against the Vikings, I believe, because they had like 10 penalties in that game. I think they had double-digit penalties in the Texans game. And I was sitting there thinking, like, these games, they don't count, but they do matter because you're starting to build your habits. And they built a bad habit. And I was saying, like, listen, this is something to monitor because you don't want these kinds of mistakes to carry over into the regular season because you have I think easily a top 5 roster in the NFL. I think you're going to have an elite defense, but you could blow games if you're making careless errors. Look at what happened when we played Dallas last year in the wild card game, all those penalties that Dallas gave up for the number one offense, and they lost by 1 possession. And it translated into the regular season here from the preseason. The Niners, again, committing double-digit penalties. These are careless mistakes, mental errors that are fixable, which is why I'm not extremely worried like other people are. There's a lot of people trying to press the panic button, but that's just the emotions of fans.
Yeah.
If this continues, though, then it's going to be a problem. But this is something where you can fix, not grabbing a face mask when a guy's stopped. You can fix not diving after a quarterback when he's already going out of bounds and he's giving himself up. Those types of plays were just gut wrenching for the momentum. It took their energy out of it, and you gave the Bears life when they looked really just out of the game. It kind of reminded me of the way that the Packers were in a way when we went to Lambeau last year. That's how it kind of felt. Like the weather was bad, but that offense was not moving. Their quarterback was not finding anybody, but we just gave them life to get back in the game. And they kept doing it over and over again until the Bears finally took it.